Hello little friends, welcome to your class, and today we are going to start over with ratios. So you know that ratios are very easy and important as well. So let's start over directly with the questions. For example, I have a fraction 25 to 30. This is a fraction, as you already know about fractions. What are the other ways to write this fraction? Can I write it like this, 25 to 30? Yes, I can write like this. Can I write it like this, 25 ratio 30? Yes, this is the same thing like this and same like this. So all are these called ratios. So when you are given any fraction, for example 20 divided by 40, how you can write it into ratio? The top thing first and the bottom thing later. That means 20 ratio 40 is the same thing as your fraction. And now if you are asked to simplify your fraction, how you are going to simplify? Same way you simplify your fraction. That means this 0 will be cancelled with this 0, and 2 times 1 is 2 and 2 times 2 is 4. So that means 1 and 2 is your simplified ratio. Understand, we are going to do a lot of questions to clear it. Now look at this example. This is the word problem, and this in a class there are boys and girls. You are told about the ratio of boys to girls. Okay, the ratio of boys to girls is 3 to 2. What do we mean by that? For every 3 boys there are 2 girls. Okay, for every 3 boys there will be 2 girls. Okay, if I say that there are total number of boys equals to 12, so can you tell me that how many girls are there? How can you tell me that how many girls are there? So let's go back into your numbers. For every 3 boys there are 2 girls. Then for every next 3 boys again you have 2 girls. For next 3 boys you again have 2 girls, and up to where I'm going to write it, where I will have 12 boys. So 3 boys again will give 2 girls. Okay, so it means 1 2 3 4, that means 3 times 4 equals to 12. I have completed my calculation. So now come towards the girls. How many girls are there? 1 2 3 4, that means 2 times 4 equals to 8. Correct or not? 2 times 4 equals 8 means 8 girls will be there in the class. Have you noticed one thing, that the multiple of both girls and boys equals to 4? So this was the long way of doing the question. So the short way of doing the question we are going to follow in the next questions is that you know the number of boys. The number of boys are equal to 12. Okay, but we need to find the number of girls. How can we find it? We need to know the multiple by which you got the number of boys. You know the ratio is equals to 3. 3 times what will give you 12? 3 times 4 will give you 12. Okay, so it means the same thing we have to do on the other number, that is 2. 2 times 4 will give you 8 girls. So you got your answer. Look, in this way you have done your question in 2 seconds or 3 seconds, but the other way is going to take so much time. So you need to follow this way. That was just for understanding. So let's do some more examples. For example, we say that there are sweets. Okay, some sweets are there, and Sophie and John, they are sharing the sweets. Okay, and they are sharing the sweets in the ratio of 3 to 5. Okay, so now if I say that John has total sweets equals to 20, how many sweets does Sophie has? What we need to do, like the same thing we have done, Sophie and John, and we are writing their numbers now. These are the ratios, and now we are writing their numbers. We know that John has 20 sweets, and Sophie, how many sweets we need to know. So again we are going from John to John. In this way, we are joining these two numbers, and how you will reach from 5 to 20? 5 times 4 is 20. Am I correct? Okay, so now what I need to do next for Sophie? The same thing I have to do with Sophie here. That means 3 times 4 give me 12. It means Sophie has 12 sweets. Understand? So this is the way you can find out the other person's share when one person's share is already given. Okay, so now what we have to do, we need to solve some other questions. Look at here, there are some simplification of the fraction you need to do. For example, I'm solving this question for you, 300 ratio 25. Again, what is this? The same thing like your fraction. The same way you have been doing your fraction simplification, you have to apply over here. There is 0 at the end and there is 5 at the end. It means we can divide these numbers by 5. So I am dividing 30 by 5. That means 5 times 6 is 30, and this 0 will be copied as it is. And then 5 times 5 is 25. Okay, now look at here again, these numbers can be divided by 5. Why? Because there is 5 and there is 0 at the end. So you know that 5 times 12 is 60 and 5 times 1 is 5. So now look at this is your simplified ratio. If you will divide your numbers, even then you are going to have same answer. Look, 5 times 5 is 25 and 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 1 is 5 and 5 times 12 is 60. So 12 will be your answer. So when you will write it in your ratio, you will write the top number first and the bottom number is 1. So you can write in this form when you are converting it into ratio. Okay, so this was easier thing you can do yourself. Other questions. Now let's start doing the next question. Now look at this question. This is very important and exam style questions. So you need to understand it very carefully. Okay, and it's very easy, not at all difficult. So there are two kids, Marta and John. Okay, Marta, I'm just giving you an example that they are brother and sister. Okay, in a packet there are 60 sweets and they are going to share with each other. But which ratio? 3 and 2. Understand? Now what they're asking, how many sweets does Marta have? So first of all, I need to tell you that if there are total sweets equals to 60, who have it? Marta and John, mother. She has the total sweets 60. Now Marta is bigger than John, so that's why she comes to her mother, ask for 3 sweets. John is again coming and he is saying that I want sweets too. Her mother gave him 2. Now next time again Marta is coming. She is asking for 3 sweets and John will ask again 2 sweets. It means for every 3 sweets, John will be having 2 sweets, Marta will be having 3 and John will be having 2 sweets. Now Marta and John will keep on coming to their mama for asking the sweets until the sweets are finished. Okay, so now how can we do it in our question? Let's start solving it. Okay, now you know that total number of sweets are equal to 60, right? Total number of sweets are equal to 60 and they need to be shared. That means they need to be divided. It means these sweets have to be divided into how many parts? 3 and 2, right? Because 3 shares are for Marta and 2 shares are for John. Understand? So it means total shares become 5. 3 plus 2 equals to 5. So can I divide my sweets into 5 parts? Total parts are 5 and total sweets are 60. When you are dividing total by total, what you will get? Each share. Understand? When you are dividing total sweets divided by total share, it will give you each share, which will be equal to 12. Understand? So you know that you have been doing in all the word problems almost in your last years, and whenever you need to find each, what you do, you divide the total by total. So you got your each share, that is 12. Now 12 means one share. What do we mean by 12? Each share. So now if I say that I need to find 3 shares, what I need to do? I need to multiply it by 12. So I will get the 3 shares, that is 36. So Marta is sharing 3 times, it means she has 36 sweets. And John is having 2 times share. So how many sweets he will be having? 2 times 12, that means 24. So John will be having 24 sweets and Marta will be having 36 sweets. Understand? Okay, so you need to pause the video and try doing this question yourself, then come back and start doing the next question. Okay, now read this question. Ali has 50 pencils. How many pencils he has? 50. Now these are the total number of the pencils, right? So the ratio of the sharpened pencils, sh.p is for sharpened pencils, and 2 blunt pencils, B for blunt and P for pencils, right? Sharpened pencils, 2 blunt pencils. What is the ratio? 3 to 2. Understand? Now what we need to find? We need to find how many sharpened pencils does Ali have. So the first thing you need to do, you always need to find each share or each part. Okay, so each share, each part or each number, for everything what you need to do, you need to divide your total number. What is that? 50, and the total parts are equals to 5 here. 3 plus 2, that is 5. It means that 50 is dividing into 5 parts. For all of the questions of this type, we always, what we need to do is we are going to divide our total number, that is 50, okay, by the total parts or total share, that is 3 and 2 gives you 5. So when you will divide 5 and 50, you will get 10. So it means you get the answer of each number, that is equals to 10. Now you can find any ratio in your question. You can go back into your question and you need to find the answer of sharpened pencils. What you will do? You will multiply it by 10 and it will be equal to 30 sharpened pencils. So if you need to find the blunt pencils answer, the same thing you need to apply over here. That means 2 times 10 will give you 20. You have been doing these type of question. For example, cost of 1 pencil is equals to 2 pounds, for example. So what will be the price of 5 pencils? What you do, you just multiply 2 times 5 and you get your 10 pounds, the price of 5 pencils. The same thing we are doing in the ratio thing is, what are they? That in 3:2, when you found the each part, each share, that was equals to 10. You can find 3 shares, that is 3 times 10. You can find the 2 shares, that would be 2 times 10. What you need to do, you always need to find the each share. Understand? Let's do some more questions. The number of people who voted for the red party. So there is a red party. R for red party in an election was 1500. So I'm writing here 1500. They are the votes for the red party. The number of people who voted for the blue party. So here I'm writing blue party. So how many votes blue party had? 9,000. Okay, so now what we have to do, they are saying write the ratio of red to blue party. So we need to just put a ratio sign between them, and what they are saying, these are actually given to the numbers of the votes. You are already given the number of the votes. Now they are saying that write their ratio in the simplest form. So the same thing we do in our fraction, we have to do over here. Let's do directly over here. So you should know that how you can solve it in the ratio. So the ending zeros, the last zeros will be cancelled with each other. 2 zeros will be cancelled with 2 zeros. You will be left with 15 and 90. Okay, so now 1590 means 15 times 1 is 15 and 15 times 6 is 90. Okay, Now this is your simplified ratio. Okay, now look at this question. A piece of carpet is 240 centimeter long. How much? 240 centimeter long. Again, you are given over here total length of the carpet. Okay, Mr. Sami cuts it into 3 pieces in the ratio 1 to 3 to 4. Okay, work out the length of the longest piece of the carpet. You can see from here that the longest piece of the carpet will be, which is having 4 shares. Okay, so this is a piece of carpet, for example, and it is 240 centimeter long. Mr. Sami needs to cut it into 3 pieces, but not equal pieces. One will be of 1 share, other will be having 3 shares, and then the last one will be having 4 shares. Okay, so to find the longest part or the part of all pieces, what we need to do, always same thing you have to do, add all of your parts. That is 1 plus 3 plus 4 will give you 8. It means your total length is going to divide into 8 parts. So when you will divide it by 8, what you will get? 8 times 3 is 24, and 30 centimeter will be the length of each part. Okay, 30 centimeter will be the length of each part. So now when you have found the answer of each, you know you can find anything from here now. So what we need to do now, we need to find the longest piece of carpet which has ratio equals to 4. So what you need to do, multiply 30 by 4, and 120 centimeter is the length of the longest piece of carpet. Understand? Okay, I hope you understood it now. So there is one more question of this type for you. Okay guys, let's do this question quickly. Okay, so Sarah has some chocolates. 24 are white chocolates, right? White chocolates. Then 16 are the milk chocolates, okay? And 8 are the dark chocolates, right? Now what they're asking, write down the ratio of white to milk chocolates and milk to dark chocolates. Okay, we have written it. Now what we need to do, we need to simplify it. So here is 24, 16 and 8. You need to find a highest common factor, which you know that 8 can divide all these numbers. 8 times 1 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, and 8 times 3 is 24. So this is simply your answer. In the description box, I am leaving a link for your worksheet, so you can go directly download your worksheet and please practice more and more questions. So see you in the next class.